Hello, folks. You are tuned into another episode of Listen in 3D. This is episode number 105. I'm your boy Justin, aka Too Tall for You Fool.
And I'm Ray, aka Vandal Society.
And together we are both Team 3D, the host of Listen in 3D, where we discuss, dissect, and debate the music and albums in the world of hip hop and other genres. If you like what you're seeing, like this video, please comment, share it around, and most importantly, subscribe. When you help us out one step further, if you do subscribe, click on that notification bell. That way, you know when all our shorts and videos go live. So, one thing I do want to just just recognize real quick. We hit a milestone, Ray, on this channel. We
What do
have
we got?
200 subscribers now.
Oh, nice. That's
Yeah.
good. It keeps growing.
Yeah, it's keeping growing. So if
Right.
you know anyone that wants to get down with this, hasn't subscribed yet, that knows about it, if you follow us on Instagram or wherever the case may be, and you're not subscribed to the YouTube channel, please do so. We got a lot of content coming. I know it's been a little bit of slow going, but what can I say? Myself, Ray, and I'll speak for Gabe too on this one. We're all busy men, we
Yeah.
all definitely have lives outside of here, so. Yeah, let's just
Yeah.
say life has been real busy right now, but we're finding the time to do this. So, I'm very very excited that we are doing another episode for you guys. So, yeah, 200
Yeah. And
subscribers.
that's real good. And to anyone that subscribes or come across our channel through an album search or an artist search, do a little bit engagement. Leave a comment. Whether it's something you like about the song or the album that we're covering, just get in there and leave a comment. Engage. When we'll respond to you.
Yeah. I just responded to a bunch of comments just the other day. So, yeah,
Nice.
the comments are coming. Definitely, just engagement is key, and yeah, just very excited to just engage with you guys, whether it's good or bad. So. Did you? So this album that we're doing today, did you really listen to them back in the day, or any of KRS-One's later work throughout your
Um,
hip hop journey?
So I started with KRS-One first before listening to any BDP albums, um, and I didn't really start listening to KRS until I want to say the early 2000s. Maybe it was like 2001, 2002.
Mm.
That's when I was really getting transitioning in more into the whole hip hop culture. So that's when I really started listening to KRS, and then to about 2002 2003 I got into BDP a little bit. So yeah, there was that was around the time when I started getting more into Boogie Down Productions and Karis One's um, group, his group albums back then.
Yeah, definitely. He has a big catalog. He's been in the game a long time. But
Yeah,
yeah,
definitely.
so what album are we doing today? If you wanna introduce it.
So today we are discussing the debut album of Boogie Down Productions, Criminal Minded. It was released March 3rd in 1987 through B-Boy Records. It was certified gold, peaked at number 73 on the top R&B and hip hop album chart. The singles are South Bronx, The Bridge Is Over, and Super Hove. For the music video, it's The Bridge Is Over, and there are no guest appearances.
All right, thank you for that. So Boogie Down Productions, I can get into a little bit of their background. It consisted of just the guy who we were talking about, KRS-One, D Nice, and DJ Scott LaRock, who unfortunately is no longer with us. He was murdered less than 6 months after this project came out, midway when they were in the middle of doing their second album. Actually, he was murdered. I read about his murder. It was actually a very sad story. If you guys want to check it out, there's plenty of places you can read about it. I'm not really going to discuss it here, but they definitely got together in the the mid '80s, and what can I say? When they came out swinging with this one, and some of the tracks we'll
Yeah,
definitely get into. Many people think that, or many people um, put this in, the conversation of one of the original gangster rap records, and this is from the East Coast. So I mean, really on the East Coast, aside from them, the only other hard guy you had was Schoolie D, if you
Yeah.
remember him, and then everybody else, Ice T, West Coast, and then NWA followed behind after him. So um, it definitely is considered that much. So, but definitely listening to KRS One over the years, it'd be hard, for me to picture him, talking hard rhymes like that. But at the end of the day, I know one of the reasons why he kind of shifted directions the way he did was because of Scott LaRock's murder. So yeah, he had to. So he had to do what he had to do there. Overall, Boogie Down Productions, they had 4 studio albums, aside from the one we're talking, no, 5 studio albums, excuse me, aside from the one we're talking about here. Uh, by All Means Necessary, which came out in '88, Ghetto Music, The Blueprint of Hip Hop, 1989, Edutainment, 1990, and their final album before he went solo in 1992 was Sex and Violence. So those are those are their total albums. If you guys are interested in content like this, let us know. We probably can review another one. By All Means Necessary seems, really really good. Um,
What about you? Do you have any early memories, or when did you first hear about KRS or
yeah, so
Boogie
yeah,
Down?
definitely started with KRS One for me, and let's see. I know. Let me look for. I remember the name of the song, but if I can find it real quick, I would say it wasn't that album. I want to say it was his '97 because I remember the cup. Yeah, I Got Next,
Oh,
which
okay,
was in
yeah,
the late '90s. Step into a World, Rapture's Delight. That was the first
yeah.
song I ever heard from him. So yeah, I had to find it
All
anyway.
right.
So and yeah, so yeah, you never heard that one because you said you started really getting into them in like the early 2000s. So
Well, I that's when the early 2000s. That's when I started listening to all of those songs. Like,
oh okay,
um, yeah. So that's when I first started listening to KRS. Was like 2001, 2002. But of course, I started with the singles that he had out.
yeah,
Because the first album I got from him was KRS One that came out in '95, but
yeah.
I didn't get it at '95. I got it like in 2001.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, Care,
Yeah,
yeah, his that was his second studio album, his self-titled one. So
yeah,
yeah, the first one I really got into was I Got Next. Yeah, so um, um let's see. Have you ever seen KRS One live?
yes, man. Several times. I actually been on stage with him
Oh, right on.
once in 2007 at the knitting factory in Hollywood. Man, that was a cool experience because KRS when he does shows, he's really engaging with the crowd,
Yeah, he
and
does engage a
he
lot.
really,
He engages a lot.
yeah, he does, and so it was cool because he was just like he brought out a huge canvas and he was like, "There any graffiti writers out there? Come up to the stage and tag this canvas up. I'm gonna put it in my house and this and that." So a bunch of people that were graffiti writers went up there and signed their name. And while I was up there, I asked if I can get a picture with them, and got a picture together. And then
Nice.
yeah, I seen him several times. The very last time I saw him, I took my little brother for his first hip hop show. I took him 2 years ago, and that was at the Whiskey in Hollywood, and
Okay.
that was a good show too. That was a good experience. Yeah, he's always spitting like knowledge and
Yeah.
wisdom to the audience. So it's always
Yeah.
enlightening to hear him.
Yeah, he's very engaging, but some of the cons I have heard about his shows is he could talk maybe a little too much, and that's fair.
He,
I'm not going to
yeah,
knock anyone on that.
he does talk, but he talks like maybe 10-15 minutes. But when he does talk, it if you're open minded with it, like he'll really grab you in. But
Yeah.
if you're there just for music, you'll probably get bored. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Like, yeah. So I guess it just depends what your approach is with it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I know for me, I saw him at the Rock the Bells concert I went to back in 2014. 2013, I want to say 2012 or 2013. One of those. The last year they had it before they shut it all down.
Oh, okay.
The year of the holograms. That was the time I saw him.
Well,
Apparently Gabe was there too, so he probably has some memories on that one. I don't know if he saw KRS One, but yeah, that's when I saw him, and then I want to say I saw him somewhere else. I could be wrong.
oh, okay.
I can't picture it, but I know I did see him at Rock the Bells for sure.
Nice. Yeah, yeah, man. I just check them out. I prefer the smaller venues, so I checked them out at another spot in Long Beach back in 2009. So
Mm.
yeah, it was like 07, 09, and then 2023 or 24, I think. 24, yeah.
All right, so
Yeah.
2 years ago was the last time I seen him. Okay, I know
Yeah.
he does shows pretty actively, so I mean he's definitely
Yeah.
not a hard act to find if you do want to see him. But yeah, that would be probably my earliest memories, and then I've seen that video like a million times on MTV also. So,
Yeah. That was,
but yeah, so that was really like my first experience with KRS One. I know he had that '95 album. I hadn't really checked it out, but
I
eventually,
recommend that album.
yeah,
I
for
think it's
sure.
pretty good.
All right,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely. I mean, we definitely
What
been
about
to
the what about the beef documentaries when they came out? Because that was like also
uh
my
beef.
that was my yeah, that was my full experience with. So I already knew about KRS One, but that was when I started backpedaling to Boogie Down Productions because that was he was discussing the beef with with Queensbridge, MC Shan, Marley Marr. So that's when I was I learned about that beef, and then I started backpedaling and listening to Boogie Down Productions during that time. So that was probably like '03.
Yeah. Not gonna lie, it's been a very long time since I last seen the beef documentary. It's probably
Okay.
a nice discussion topic we could probably talk about one of these days. But yeah, I know a little bit about it, not too much, but I know, like I said, we're gonna get into it. They came out shots firing, you know.
Uh, Yeah, but he had to, man. He took offense to that, but I think he misconstrued the
Mm,
original origin of MC Shan and Molly Marr's version.
yeah,
But yeah, we'll get into it if later if you want.
yeah. Definitely, we'll definitely talk that for sure. Let's see, but just aside from our memories, like I said, just in terms of this album in particular, you know, I I didn't buy it or really listen to it or knew if any of the songs when I first started listening to hip hop. If I'm being honest, um,
Uh,
but yeah, but I mean, I'd see it in record stores from time to time. I know it did go out of print a few times here and there.
so yeah, so this one, like, so since we're talking about records, so I did buy the single. This is probably like this one's The Bridge Is Over, and I bought this one. This has to be maybe my first handful of records that I bought when I first started collecting. Like, I think I bought this one like in '02 or '03, and yeah, it's just a single for Bridges Over. So yeah, so around '02, '03 is like when I really started, digging more into KRS and Boogie Down. But I'm more of a KRS fan over Boogie Down. But
Yeah, that's
you
fair.
know,
That's fair.
yeah.
All right. So memories, like I said, for me, just didn't really know about them when I first started listening. Didn't get into them until like years later, and it would just be like a song here or there. But we can get into the album artwork, and oh man, talk about like some tough real artwork. If you look at it like closely, there are like guns in the photo. I think it's the first album cover to ever feature like weapons in an album cover.
Yeah,
I could be wrong.
yeah, I
um,
believe it was.
but I
Yeah, it
mean, it
was.
looks pretty cool. Criminal Minded, and then Boogie Down Productions at the bottom. Their photos, and then I don't own the CD or the vinyl or anything, but I know on the back cover, I know there was like more to it, like so. Yeah, but
Yeah,
it's a pretty nice one.
yeah. Like you said, I feel like during that era, that was like the whole Public Enemy. I feel like it was more of a political conscious type of cover in a sense, kind of like their follow up album after that is reminiscent of a Malcolm X type
Mm,
looking out the window. So I feel like during that era they were just on their gangster eras, kind of political
mm,
militant era as well during that time. But yeah, the
yeah,
album cover has them around guns on a table and Um, just chilling there, looking pretty hard right
Yeah,
there.
it was pretty hard to me. Like definitely a room
Yeah,
I wouldn't want to walk into if you know what I mean.
yeah,
Yeah, but
yeah,
yeah, definitely that. Definitely I would say they were a more gangster image of Public Enemy, I guess you could say. Like maybe just a little more
yeah. That's
harder, I
true.
guess you could say. I wouldn't go with
Yeah, I
gangster,
would agree.
but I would say definitely like a more gangster Public Enemy at the time. Um,
Yeah, I agree.
so let's see. Let's get into production, and the production on here was really good. I mean, I was pretty impressed with the production. I'll let you go first. What beats were you really feeling on this one?
The one I was feeling was 9 millimeter. That bass line right there it's a standout bass line. You can really it's real prominent in that track. So that was what caught my interest when I first heard it years back, and that was one of my favorite. And then of course the South Bronx is one of my favorite,
Oh yeah, yeah,
and
South Bronx.
over those, yeah, those beats to me were always like a hard, just a hard beat to spit over. You know, it was just real banging when you heard it. So those are the tracks that really stood out for me.
Yes. For me, the beats definitely 9 millimeter goes bang. That was a great beat. Uh, Another one I liked. Um, so I mean, I have a little story behind South Bronx, but you ever watched Yo MTV Raps
Yeah,
or
yeah, there
became?
was
I guess at
some.
this time it was Yo after like the main show got canceled. I know they used that beginning of South Bronx at the beginning of the show.
Oh,
And I guess this was around the
yeah,
time when they would just get like guest host to host. Like it would usually be like a hot rapper at the time that was like promoting their new album or whatever. But yeah, so I know they used like the South Bronx beat like as an intro when it just became Yo. So that
oh,
was a
okay.
really good one. But a beat that really stood out to me was the song "Dope Beat." I thought that was a very very clever just a sample that they did. They sampled AC/DC's "Back in Black," so
Yeah,
I thought that was pretty cool.
yeah,
And
that was pretty clever. Yeah.
yeah, that was a nice sample. And then another one I want to shout out is "The Bridge Is Over." I know for those of you West Coast hip hop fans out there, MC Ren, he names this whole album as his all time favorite album, and then he must have really been he must have really been influenced by The Bridge Is Over because it's heavily used in his 1992 single "The Final Frontier." If for those of you that remember that song, so that's a
Yeah, and then speaking of like the early NWA, their influence were representing Compton because they seen that out on the East Coast, groups like Boogie Down Productions, they were yelling out where they were from,
yeah.
the South Bronx, um, and they kind of got inspired from that, just throwing out where they were from when NWA came out. That's why they're, all about Compton, throwing it out there, letting people know. And they used BDP as a reference source of what got them yelling out, where the city where they came from.
Yeah,
So that was a cool.
they just wanted to represent where they were from. So I mean, can't
Yeah.
have any problems with that. So
Another
so
beat I forgot to mention was the word from our sponsor. I like that beat too. I just don't like the intro where it's like a long beeping
yeah,
noise.
that
Yeah,
was kind of annoying. Word from our sponsor. That was a
yeah,
pretty clever song.
yeah, yeah. But once the beat came in, it was good. But yeah, the very beginning, I'm just like have it on zero volume, have it muted, and
Hmm.
then I'll skip right to the first verse.
All right. Yeah,
Yeah,
so production's very good. There's also I was gonna actually explain this in cuts and expansions at the end, but there is an instrumental album that they did also. It's on Spotify, so if you do want to just listen to the production, it's there. So I figured I'd just throw that out there for all you beat heads out there. Um, all right, so let's get into the album singles. So there are three singles. We'll start with probably my least favorite, not single, but really song on the album, and that is Super Ho. I think the only real thing I like about it was the super sperm sample, but
Oh,
that was
yeah,
it. I mean, that song just didn't do it for me, if I'm being perfectly honest.
yeah, yeah. I wasn't a fan of that song too much, but yeah, it was cool.
All right,
It was all right.
all right.
Yeah,
So we're both on the same page there.
yeah,
All right, all
yeah,
right. I think we've said enough about that song. Let's get into South Bronx, and
yeah. That
just this is really the song that really kicked off. The whole beef and everything. Just let me pull up some of the lyrics. You know, they name drop. Just MC MC Shan and
and Mar.
Marley Marr. So, well, actually, that's
Yeah,
I'm thinking of The Bridge Is Over, but this one it was just they really just represented where they were from, and just
yeah. So yeah, I mean, like the whole beginning of South Bronx is a response to MC Shan and Marley Marr's track "The Bridge," and in that song, "The Bridge" from MC Shan, uh, he's talking about how they're doing hip hop in the parks, right across from Queensbridge,
hmm,
and MC Shan was basically talking about where hip hop first hit Queens. He never stated that hip hop began in Queens, but that's
yeah,
how KRS misconstrued it. He heard it and he was like, "Oh, they're saying that hip hop started in Queens when everyone knows it started in the South Bronx." So of
yeah.
course KRS took offense to that and ran to the studio and
He did his
Scholar
thing.
Rock
Yeah,
put together the beat. Yeah, and then they came out with the South Bronx. Yeah, so that's the South Bronx is a response to the bridge from Marley Marr and MC Shan.
yeah,
Yeah, it's a pretty good beat right there. The beat's real hard.
yeah.
It
It's
has like a
well done.
nice, yeah, it has like that nice horn hit in the beginning. I mean, throughout the whole song, it's like that nice
Hmm.
horn punch in throughout the whole track, and it's real prominent. You can tell like that horn just sticks out for that
Yeah.
track right there.
It was a very good beat for, a hip hop song done in 1987. That definitely.
Yeah, yeah,
But
but yeah, man, you gotta check that out. Like
yeah,
the history behind it is
yeah, I
interesting.
definitely do want to get in. Got me wanting to watch the beef documentary now. If I can find it,
It should be on YouTube, but I think the quality's not that good.
yeah,
I have the DVDs on. I have the first and second volume only. I didn't care about the third beef,
yeah.
but
The
yeah,
third one,
I have.
I was, I was kind of done with it after that. But no,
Yeah, yeah. So one and two, I would say are the best. So yeah, it's on volume one for beef for the discussion about the beef between Queens and Brooklyn or Bronx.
mm, yeah,
And
definitely. Yeah, hip hop beats are always interesting. Some turn
yeah,
violent, I mean, as we've seen, but I mean, I know back in the day they really just wanted to keep it friendly, Well, not friendly, but like not violent either.
yeah,
uh,
yeah,
the bridge is over. This is a song he came out. They came out swinging,
yeah,
rhyming like they gay, picking up the mic, then they don't know what to say, and oh man,
yeah. The bridge is over, man. That's what really shut down MC Shan for that battle.
mhm.
That's pretty much what sealed the deal for the battle was the bridge is over. That's also a dope beat right there.
Yeah, that was a good beat, and definitely that piano. Dun, 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 dun,
Yeah,
dun, dun. Yeah, so it's a definitely a nice piano beat. That's for sure. But yeah, let's see. So let's move on to our favorites. What you got?
all right, man. It's got to be the same as the beats, man. I like South Bronx, Bridge is over, and I would say word from our sponsor over 9 millimeter, but
Okay.
that's a tough one. Probably those four,
Yeah,
I
I
would
would
say.
say definitely the two singles, South Bronx and The Bridge Is Over, were my two are gonna be my two favorites. The third one, 9 millimeter goes bang. I like that song. It was just it just flowed
Yeah,
together very well. I mean, I did
it
like
does. Yeah,
I mean, I did like Dope Beat as well, but I think 9 millimeter just stood out to me a little more.
Yeah,
Definitely.
I agree with that.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. See, anything you want to say on the other two tracks, 9 millimeter or see, or word from our sponsor? I know you just didn't like the intro to word from our sponsor.
Yeah, no, the word from our sponsors, it's a dope track nonetheless. It's just that intro. That's pretty much my only flaw with it. Uh, my 9 millimeter goes banging. Like I said, the bass line on it is hard, and that's what captured me with that track was the bass line.
I think that was really the first track I heard from Boogie Down Production. And then the
Okay,
chorus is clever too. La 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 la. Dun dun dun
yeah,
dun dun dun
yeah,
dun
it is
dun dun dun.
pretty catchy.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then definitely, I think it has to be the first song in hip hop to actually talk about, brandishing a firearm or
Yeah.
because
Yeah,
I
during
don't
that
think there was anything
time,
else during that time, at least until
nah,
IC and NWA came around, but maybe Schoolie
yeah.
D, but yeah,
Yeah, during that time, I would say maybe Boogie Down was the one that really put it out there like that.
yeah, yeah, definitely. All right, so now that we've gotten into that, see, so album cuts and expansions. I guess there are versions of this album that has a Scott LaRock mega mix of all the songs at the end of it, after the end of the 10 track LP. So if you guys have it, I think you guys have something that's kind of hard to find. There is a deluxe edition with a bunch of remixes, and then there is an instrumental version of this album as well. It's at least on Spotify. I can tell you for sure.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
so recommendations. I know we've dropped some of these guys already throughout the episode. Schoolie D's Saturday Night, the album that came out sometime I want to say in '86 or '87, and then Ice T Rhyme Pays that came out in '87. That was the year of his debut, and then NWA and the Posse made an appearance in late '87. I know that album got reissued later, years later, but they did have a that was the original NWA and the Posse that came out in late 1987. Any other acts during that time that that you feel sort of that you feel that you would recommend?
Yeah, I recommend for that year. I believe all three came out in '87. It's Public Enemy, Yo
Yep,
Bum Rush the Show,
that's
and
another good one. That's a good one.
yeah, yeah, that was pretty good. And Too Short, Born to Mac, and he's it's more street,
Hmm.
talking about the street life and the pimp life because there's some elements of that on this album, Criminal Minded, and I would say MC Shan, Down by Law, because if we're gonna talk about one side of the beef, it's only right you got to hear the other side as well. So I would
Yeah.
say MC Shan, Down by Law.
All right. All right. Thank you for that. Okay. So anyway, closing thoughts on this album before we put this episode to bed.
It's a great album, and it's what you would expect in a mid '80s production. The beats from the East Coast are banging, uh, real sample heavy
Mm,
production as well. I would recommend it, especially to get a good insight on the beef between Queens and Bronx, because that was a whole borough of people
mm,
that were in the culture beefing with the other
yeah.
culture over a misunderstanding of where hip hop was, where hip hop began, and
Yeah.
yeah, so it was an interesting time during that time, and yeah, it really resonated a lot in New York during that era, and played in hip hop clubs, and it was just a cool experience if you were alive and at that time and experienced it in person. That was like, sometimes I wish I was like a teenager in New York sometimes, man, because of the early production of KRS One and Boogie Down. Just to see the whole like era. I don't know. It's something that you can't really put a price on. I would just say just check it out. Oh, and
Okay.
also real quick, I recommend checking out Beef One. That really gives a good insight on the whole beef between MC Shan and KRS-One. So yeah, beef one. Throw that in the recommendation.
All right, for sure, for sure. A few
Yeah.
things I want to say about this album before we go. Let's see, the critical reception of what it reviewed back in the day. So it did go gold. That was just doing research. I don't think it necessarily says that on their Wikipedia page, but it was well received by critics when it came out. 1988 for Village Voice. Let's see, Robert Christagu. Hopefully, I didn't mispronounce his name. He wrote this. He wrote in his consumer guide, the one more, the one's more realistic quibbles do recede as history demonstrates how much worse things can get and how little music has to do with it. KRS One's talk of fucking virgins and blowing brains out will never make him my b-boy of the first resort. Uh, I could do without the turf war too from the Lower East Side, not to mention Kingston or Kinshasa or Podunk, Queens, and the South Bronx are both definitely enough. But his mind is complex and exemplary. He's sharp and articulate. His idealism more than a gang code, and his confusion profound. And Scott LaRock was a genius, sampling a blues metal, as well as James Brown spinning grooves to toast by blindsiding uh, the beat with grunts and telephones and dim back talk. He was spare and rich simultaneously. Music will miss him more than Jaco Pastorius and Will Shatter to put together. So that's what he had to say. And then a few other facts about this album. In 1998, Criminal Minded was selected by the source as one of the 100 best rap albums. Vibe included it in its list of 100 essential albums of the 20th century in 1999, and in 2002, the magazine placed it at number 3 on its list of top 10 rap albums. So it's been pretty praised over the years. And then in 2003, the album was ranked number 444 on Rolling Stone's magazine's list of 500 greatest albums of all time. And then when they did their re-ranking in 2020, it went up to 239. Mm. And many people consider South Bronx one of the best diss songs of all time. So, so I figured I'd put all that out there. I figured,
That's debatable, man. Because I don't know, Ice Cube can write some good diss
yeah,
songs,
I
but
don't, yeah, yeah, yeah,
but
complex named at the
but one of
number.
the best. But yeah, one of the best. I would say it's up there in the top 10 list. I would say yeah, it's
You can make
there.
an argument for it. I mean, it probably wouldn't be in my
Yeah,
top 10 if I'm being honest, but I mean,
top 20
if it's
or
maybe top 30, if I'm doing it from like a
is there that
respected.
many diss songs though?
I thought you were talking about the album. No, no.
No. But the top because you said it was top. How many diss? You
Uh,
said top
it's
diss songs.
Complex named it the ninth best hip hop diss song of all time, so it'd be number 9 in the
Oh,
top
okay, yeah.
10. Yeah, the diss song
Oh,
I
okay, yeah,
probably
that's
yeah
fair.
yeah the diss song I probably put in a top 10 for sure. I wouldn't put it in the top 5, no,
Yeah,
but I wouldn't no.
yeah, no, yeah. For top, so I think number nine's a good number because I would say top 10. I would say it'd be in the the higher number
Yeah, you
of that.
yeah. If I wouldn't consider it the best dip song of all time. All right. Well,
Yeah.
enough with our final thoughts on the album. For Ray, aka Vandal Society, I'm Justin Too Tall for You Fool. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. We will see y'all on the next one. Peace out.
Peace.